everybody, welcome back to RachandBella Crafts. Rachel here, hope you're all well. So for today's video, I wanted to kind of show you that you can have some options basically, because I know a couple of you have been saying, oh, you know, you haven't got the right fabrics to do what you want to do, or you know, you're not able to get hold of any kind of like boho fabrics and trims and stuff. So I wanted to show you that it is possible to make these things yourself, because that's what we're all about, right? And it's great to be able to reuse the things that we've got. So I got this massive piece of fabric downstairs that has been bouncing about for ages. It's basically linen. It's like sheet, bed sheet fabric it is. Maybe slightly thicker. And it's just been bouncing about and I haven't known what to do. Well, today, it was a beautiful day. I've sat in the garden and I thought, you know what? I'm going to get my watercolours out. I'm just going to sit and do some like little swatches like Rachel at Roxy Creation's been doing. And as I was sat there doing these swatches, and I suddenly thought, hang on a minute, we could be making our own fabric patterns here. So I've done one. I will show you that in a minute because that's for after. But I wanted to show you how we can do one on a smaller scale first. I don't know why that got under there. So I grabbed my watercolour tins. I've got these lovely metallic watercolours here. I think I had these from Grabby, I think it's called. I don't know why the inside of my button jar feels damp. There we are. So yeah, but these are lovely. And I just thought, look, I'm no artist. If I can do this, you can do this. And I thought we'll just sit and we're just going to have a little play. And I'm going to show you how I built my my larger piece in a moment. I'm going to show you then what I'm going to do with it. So obviously we've got some of us are working with the current kit, so I've been looking at you know, these kind of colours. We've got these blues and we've got these pinks. Oops, my boho trim hanging out. And we've got these pinks here as well. So they're the kind of tones that I'm going to be looking for. So if I wanted something that's going to match that, obviously the best way for me to do that is with paints, isn't it? So it's not always easy to just go out and buy the fabrics that we want. So I thought, right, let's give it a go. So what I did is simply started off by I built up shapes, but I'm going to try to do this on a bit of a smaller scale here now. And my paintbrush is quite long, so I'm conscious I don't want to hit you. I'm just going to move you up a bit. There we go. So I don't want to go clocking you or anything. But basically, I started off doing these little swirly shapes, okay, but the only thing you had to watch out for was that you didn't put it on the too wet, because when I did put it on the too wet, it got quite like this effect going on then, where it was kind of smudging, and that was where it was like really running. So I found that working with it on a bit of a drier brush, I told him it was watercolour, didn't I? I'm sure you can do this with acrylics, and I'm sure it'll be just as lovely, but I wanted to try it with watercolours. I like working with watercolours. I find the medium quite relaxing. There we go. So if we just start off with some cool little shapes like that. Let's put a couple over here. There we go. And then another one down below there. Oh, that was the hardest part, was trying to go on a different orientation earlier on. Trying to it was like doing something left-handed. There we go. Right, now you can see where that one there, and I've purposely done that to show you, it started to bleed a little bit because the brush was wetter. But that's okay, because we're going to kind of be filling in all of the background parts in a moment anyway. I'm just going to do a couple more really tiny ones because we want to be able to fill the space. And this is going to be all about building it up, you know. There we are. So one there, and then one there. It was really chilly and windy here this morning. Mum called up earlier on, and I was out cleaning the shed out, and bless her, she sat in the garden for me and was doing a bit of fussy cutting, but the wind was, we get dreadful wind up here because we're up really high, and it was blowing like billy out there, but this afternoon then it got quite warm. So I thought, oh, I can't go sit in the house, it's too nice, I need to be in the garden. I wasn't in the mood to do any gardening, I didn't have the energy for that, but my fingers are still really sore. That's getting worse, I think. And then I had a cut then on that kept on bleeding today as well, so I've had a plaster on and off that all day. So I thought, what can I sit and do that is calming? Because I want to do something calming. So I'm going to paint. I'm going to paint. I know they'll forgive me for my video being a bit later today. I'm going to paint. Right, here we go. So now what I then did was I went around that shape, but I'm not going to go around that shape this time. I'm just going to kind of do some different designs. Now, like I say, I am not very artistic. I'm not. I may be creative and digitally artistic, but when it comes to an actual paintbrush, I do struggle with the creativity of that, if that makes sense. So you just got to go with what you're comfortable with. Just have a go, isn't it? There we are. I'll show you how I'm going to do that in a moment. It was probably easier earlier on when I could turn the thing around, but these are only going to be a kind of a background thing anyway, because we're going to be layering things over the top of these now, so you'll see in a moment what I plan to do there. Let's take that around, double at that shape there. Oh, that looks nice. Here we go. Puppy's enjoyed being out in the sunshine today. And I told you we've had to change his name again, did I? Did I tell you we changed his name again? I think there was a debate going on the other day, maybe. Because obviously we've got our older dog in the house, Holly. She's our old Labrador. And it was getting confusing calling Holly. And I was like, oh my goodness, this is just getting confusing. I was like, no, not you. No, you in your bed. I was like, this is just not going to work. It's not going to work. So we decided not to call him Harley, because obviously we weren't going to go changing Holly's name. She's had it for 12 years, bless her. So then we went back to the drawing board. Then we had a family meeting on the lawn, and I had my pen and paper out and did a list. I like a list. So I said, right, well, let's look at all the past names that we've had, and then see if there's something in there. And then I went and got the pedigree sheet, and because I like to have a look sometimes and see if there's anything in the pedigree. And there was nothing really left out. Well, there was nothing we all agreed on anyway. So then the boys wanted to call him Freddie. And I said, oh, he can't be out in the fields shouting, Freddie. He said, it's just not going to happen. No, we can't call him Freddie. I mean, I like the name. Don't get me wrong, I wanted to call him George, but nobody was going for that either. So we sat down then to watch Yellowstone, and I said, oh, I feel sad. I wanted to call him Kit, not Kit, Rip even, after the guy out of Yellowstone. So the following morning, after the third morning again, and this poor dog not having a name, I just started calling him Rip, and he's answering to it. So we're going with Rip. And I think it suits him. He's a little scrappy scallywag, but he's a happy little soul. So I thought, yeah, we'll go with that. There we go. Now, see how relaxing and enjoyable this can be? And this is just the background. Wait till you see what we're going to do on the foreground. Now, I'm going to just speed things up for you, because you guys are going to be here all day otherwise. And I know you've got heaps of other things to do. And I will move us on then to the next bit, and then you can see what else I have planned. Okay. Okay, so I've just added a few little extra blotches of colour to it, and I'm just going to now, I've got a stamp here now with script on, so I'm going to just give this a try. I'm going to paint some watercolour onto the stamp. I'm not entirely sure how clear this is going to come out, but we'll give it a go. We will give it a go. I tried this earlier on on a larger piece, and as a background thing, it did have the desired effect. So we'll see how this one goes. Let's just do that bit there. Right. I'm going to just pop that on the edge there, I think. Okay, that's fine. I know it looks a bit blodgy at the moment, but that's just because it's wet. But it will dry, so don't panic. It'll be fine. And the background is wet at the minute because I've just given it a bit of a glassing over with a background. So let me just try, do a little bit more of this corner here. Put a bit more colour on there. And why there's a piece of fluff stuck on my finger. Get it off. I'm going to pop that perhaps over this side this time. There we go. That's better. Right, that's a bit more kind of what I was looking for. Just a kind of a bit of a ridgy effect on it, really, and it'll just give the fabric a bit of depth. Put that in there. There we go. Oh, very nice. Very nice. Okay, so that's the stamp done. Now, the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to take one of the mandala stencils, and we're going to pop that in the middle there. And I'm just going to clean my brush again, and then I'm going to use this really lovely vibrant gold. And you can see I've obviously been tucking into that this afternoon because that one's gone a bit lower than the rest. Just take it a bit easy, maybe. No, I don't think so. We don't do taking it easy, do we? Right, okay. Now I'm going to really thicken my brush up for this, and then I'm going to just super quickly now, gosh, this is literally like pouring liquid gold on here. Go around this stencil. Oh, why does your nose always start to itch when your hands are full? I don't know. Pollen is raging here today. But there we are. It's a small price to pay for a little bit of warmth. I've been really cold all week, I have. Which seems a ridiculous thing to be saying in June. But incidentally, my mother called up earlier on, and she'd been to visit my sister this morning. It's my sister's birthday today. And she said, Mandy said she's been cold all week. Of course, my mother's living further down south now in the county, and she hasn't got, she's not up on the mountain like we are. She's down in the town. She's a townie now. And it's a lot warmer down there. It really is. So she was quite surprised when my sister said she'd been cold. I was like, and I was sat there with a jumper on. I've had a jumper on in the garden all day. Partly because it's cold, partly because I don't want to burn my arms. But it's one extreme or the other. It's either all or nothing, you know. It's like somebody turns the switch on. And then I had to get in the car then to go and pick Dan up from school. And I couldn't touch the steering wheel. Oh, sorry guys. It was 28 degrees in my car. It's like, oh my word. I should come and sat in the car earlier when it was cold. What I could do it now is like a funnel between the car interior and my living room and funnel the heat in. That would be great. Oh gosh, our living room is always cold. Always, always cold. It doesn't get any sun at all. They built like an extension on the front of the house, the last people that owned it. Like a little porch thing. So it's like a canopy that hangs over the front window where the living room is. So there's just never any direct sunlight in the living room. It's the most ridiculous design. So that room is just always cold. There we go. Right. Almost done. And I went down to get Dan today because he's been having a few problems in school again. Same child again. He'd taken some photographs of Daniel off the school internet page and turned it into a meme to music. So he was a bit upset when he got in yesterday. Not overly like upset, more confused than anything as to why this boy is doing this, you know. And apparently had shared it in some group chat or something. I was furious, absolutely furious, as you can imagine. So I kind of tried to keep it light, and I was talking to him, and then when he went to bed, then I emailed his head of year, and I was like, this is not happening. I'm not putting up with this. Something done, please. See that, or I go down to see the boy's mother. I don't really want to have to go doing that. I'm not the confrontational type. Okay, but there's your kids, you know. Here we go. Ooh, look at that. Looky, looky, looky. I love it. Absolutely love it. Right, I need to do one on this one as well, but this is slightly wet. So I will repeat this process now on top of this. in a little while, but obviously I've put a background on this now, so it needs to dry. You know, but I'll just keep on now adding and adding and adding to it until I'm absolutely happy that everything has been done in the way that I want it done, or that there's nowhere else. You literally could just sit here dotting and swirling all day long. It's actually quite well, it's just like doing the mandala art, because I like to sit and do those sometimes. I do them on rocks. Actually, I've got a load of rocks in here somewhere. I know what I did with them. I did them last summer at the beach. What colour did I just do there then? So I mean, literally you could just keep going all day, forever and a day. Just keep on adding your dots, little marks. But I need to put one of those over this after, but I can't at the moment because it's wet. So I'm going to just clear the decks and I'm going to show you now what I made earlier on. Okay, so this is what I've been up to this afternoon. And as you can see, I started with obviously a much bigger piece. And I've started adding the swirls and things like that in there. In fact, you probably see it better than I can, really. I haven't quite finished it yet, but I'll just explain to you the layers and basically how I got to where I am at the moment. So I started off, as I did on those small swatches there, with the little swirls, and then kind of built out from that, did some little art and stuff from that. Then I went and got some stamps. I've got a brick stamp that I've used here, and I've just placed that over some parts of it. Of course, difficult, so I had to wait for things to dry to kind of see what was working, what wasn't. I also used my bit of this at one point here, and the other thing that I used is I didn't do it all with paintbrush. In fact, this image here I did with a stencil and with one of these. Again, on the watercolour ink, but literally dabbed over the stencil like that. And actually, I think that came out really well, because I was expecting it to kind of like smudge or run underneath, and it didn't at all. So a couple of them are a little bit smudgy, but that's just perhaps where the ink was a bit wet. But I think they look brilliant, and I'm going to use this now and create a journal cover with it, because I think it'll be perfect. So like I say, there's a few extra bits and pieces I want to add over this side, but I'm really pleased with the stenciling, and I think you should have a go. And I did literally just sit and fill in then all of the gaps with that lovely pink colour to really pull that out. So I'm not going to go on any longer today, guys. I'm going to leave it at that. I hope you've been inspired to go and give it a try and see how you get on. This I'm going to use as a fabric flip. I'm going to stitch across the top with some lovely gold thread, I think. And then that'll make a really nice fabric flip then in my journal. But I just wanted you to see how simple and easy it can be for you to create your own fabric using the most basic of supplies, literally paintbrush, watercolours and a scrap of fabric. So there we are, guys. Hope you have a wonderful afternoon. I will be back with you all tomorrow. Enjoy the sun, keep safe, and I will see you soon. Take care now. Bye-bye.